welcome to this PMP exam overview. My name is Amir Khan. I am PMP and RMP certified, and I'm the project management and PMP trainer with more than 3,500 students so far. So in this video, we will be discussing about everything you need to know for the PMP exam preparation and what is PMI, how to prepare for exam, what study plan you should follow. So let's start and see what details we have. So the first thing that we will be discussing is what is PMI. So PMI, which stands for the Project Management Institute, which is based in US, is the governing body that covers the PMP certification. PMI has some other certifications also like RMP, SP, portfolio management and so on. So there are 6-7 other certifications. So PMP is one of them. So PMI, which is a non-profitable organization, it defines the standards and terminologies for all of their certifications, including PMP, and they have different body of knowledges. So for the PMP, they have the PMBOK guide, which stands for the Project Management Body of Knowledge. So similar to other certifications, PMP have their own standards. They have their own guides for the PMP. So basically, it's all under the PMI umbrella. All the certifications, including the PMP. So that is what the PMI details are. And for all exam approvals, exam scheduling, to fill out the application for the PMP certification, you just need to visit the PMI website, which is pmi.org, and you can go into more details about each of their certification. So that is the first thing that I just wanted to let you know what is PMI. Then the next thing that we'll have here is what is PMP certification. So PMP certification, which is of course offered by PMI. So first of all, PMP stands for the Project Management Professional. So this is a very detailed exam for the project managers. And PMP certification tests your knowledge, your skills about the PMP, about the project management understanding, and how you apply your knowledge to different situations as part of your project. So PMP exam or PMP certification is not the test of your memory. It is not the test of some formulas or some of the things that you just have to memorize. So PMP certification is all about understanding the concepts. So it is the test of your skills, of your knowledge, and so on. So PMP certification basically will test that how you are working on difficult situations as far as your project is concerned, how you are applying your knowledge. And again, to be eligible for the PMP exam, you need to have some experience, especially working in big projects. So that we will discuss in the coming points as well. So all in all, PMP is all about project management, and PMP is currently one of the most demanding certification in the world of project management. PMP certification is not very difficult. It is difficult, of course, but not something impossible. So there are over 500,000 PMP certified professionals all around the world, and the PMP certified professionals are from different backgrounds. They are from engineering background, they are from IT, telecom, even medical background. So there is no limitation that you must be an engineer or an IT professional, only then you can apply for the PMP exam. Anyone who is having a background in project management can directly apply for the PMP exam, but there are some procedures that we will have to follow, so that I will explain you in a while. And we will also be discussing that PMP exam, it covers each and everything which is involved in any particular project. It could be cost, it could be your schedule, it could be your risks. So that is what you will have to be careful about, that the PMP exam will test your knowledge from all aspects, not just from the scheduling or budgeting point of view. So as a project manager, you need to know all of those different areas of knowledge that will be a part of the exam. PMP certification benefits. Of course, it has a lot of benefits. Either it is in your professional career or in your personal life. So if we talk about the professional career, if you have a PMP certification, definitely you can directly apply for project manager position. And if you are already working as a project manager after being PMP certified, you can expect an increment for 10 to 20 or maybe more in your salary. So definitely there are financial benefits for the PMP certification. Other than financial benefits, your career growth, so the probability of promotions, the probability of getting a better job, that is definitely another benefit. And if you are currently jobless, and if you apply for a job in the market after being PMP certified, so there's a very high probability that you will directly straight away be shortlisted for an interview if you have the PMP certification. So basically, if you are PMP certified, you can directly apply for the post of project manager depending on your industry, if you are from IT or construction and so on. So these are some financial and the career related benefits. Other than that, the PMP certification will give you lots of knowledge. So knowledge is definitely the number one benefit you will get out of this certification. You will be able to work on schedules, budget, risk analysis, and lots of other areas like human resources, communication, and many of that knowledge you can apply in your personal life as well, because everything is like a project. So you are going for holidays, or you are planning for something else as part of your life, or for example you are planning to construct a house for yourself, so that could be a project for you. So you can apply lots of that knowledge in your personal life, in your personal projects as well. So all in all, PMP is your lifetime asset, because once you are PMP certified, you are PMP forever. But definitely you need to renew the certificate every 3 years, but that is very easy. So it's your lifetime asset, and who knows at what time in your life you may have to apply, you may have to use that certification, and it depends in the country where you live in the industry that you are working on. So definitely PMP certification is one of the most beneficial asset you will ever get as part of your career growth. Who should take PMP certification, or who should apply for PMP certification? So it depends. You could be from IT background, from construction, from medical background, any area. But if you are already working in project management field, or if you want to promote yourself in the field of project management, so PMP certification is for you. Definitely that is the most demanding certification in the world of project management. Apart from that, if you are working in PMO department, project management office department, or if you're working as a senior manager, or you are part of senior management in your organization, you can go for PMP certification as well. Or if you have different project managers working under you, and you are managing lots of project managers, so PMP certification could be beneficial for you as well if you have many project managers working under you. So overall, if you are connected with projects, if your job is linked with some projects, so definitely PMP certification is for you. Even if you have many years of experience in project management, still it is highly desirable to take the PMP exam preparation training, because during the training you will get to know all the important terminologies, all the standard vocabulary that is part of the PMP exam. And as you will see in the coming slides, that taking the PMP training is must if you want to be eligible for the PMP exam, but I will explain you the details in a while. But again, based on my experience, you must have, or you should have to take the PMP exam preparation training for different reasons. First of all, there will be a direct communication between you and your trainer, and there would be many questions which you need to ask directly from your trainer, or any confusion about any concept, any misunderstanding about any of the concepts. So you can directly ask your trainer about different terminologies or any confusion. So that is one of the advantage of taking the training. Another reason why you should go for the proper classroom training or online training is that you can define a deadline for yourself. For example, you can create a plan that in 1 week or in 2 weeks you will finish the training, and then after the training you will go for the next phase for your exam preparation. So the training basically gives you a guideline, gives you a direction that you will have to follow, and it is very helpful for you to define your exam preparation study plan. So many benefits, many advantages of taking the training, and definitely there could be lots of misconceptions or lots of misunderstandings. So all of those misunderstandings and misconceptions would be clarified once you will take the proper PMP training. And also you will get to know that which material to follow, which material to focus more, even which topics you need to focus more, which would be part of the exam. So you must have to take the PMP exam preparation training. Otherwise it is possible that you would be spending 3, 4, 5 months just studying different books, different material, and still you will not be able to pass the PMP exam. So again, based on my recommendation, a PMP exam preparation training is must, either classroom training or online training. So we have discussed that who can apply for the PMP certification. So anyone who wants to appear on the exam, or anyone who wants to promote his or her career in the project management field can apply for the PMP certification. But there is an eligibility criteria for the PMP certification as well. So let's see what are the different conditions that you must have to fulfill in order to be eligible for the PMP certification. All right. So there are two conditions. The first prerequisite is that if you are a bachelor's degree holder, a 4-year bachelor's degree, in that case you need to have 4,500 hours of project management experience in last 3 years. Okay, so that is one condition. So you need to have 3 years of job experience after your bachelor's, and within that job experience of 3 years you have to have minimum of 4,500 hours of project management experience. So that is the first requirement. Then that is if you have 4 years bachelor's degree. Or if you don't have a bachelor's degree, or if you have only high school diploma or high school graduation, in that case you need to have 7,500 hours of project management experience in last 5 years. So minimum 5 years of experience is required, and within those 5 years you need to have 7,500 hours of project management experience. So either bachelor's degree with 4,500 hours of experience, or high school diploma with 7,500 hours of experience in the project management field. Now that experience, which is must to be in the project management field. Now it is not necessary that you have to have that experience as project manager. Okay, you would be working as a team member, as a technical expert, as financial expert, or maybe as a project manager, or in any other area. So you can be working in the project management field in any role, not necessarily as a project manager. So it is not must that you have to work as a project manager for 2, 3 years, 5 years, and then you are eligible for PMP exam. No, that is not true. You can be working in any capacity, in any role. The important thing is that your job, your work must be linked or must be relevant with the project management experience. So that is the first condition that you will have to achieve. The second condition is that you need to take the PMP exam preparation training for at least 35 hours. So again, you have to take a formal education, a formal training for at least 35 hours. So these are the two requirements. Only then you will be eligible for the PMP exam. So once you will take the training, either classroom or online, you will get the training certificate, and in the training certificate it must be mentioned the training provider name, the title of the course, and the hours, the duration of the training. So it has to be at least 35 hours. Okay, but it is not necessary that you have to take only one training and that must be for 35 hours. Maybe you can take two separate trainings, one for 20 hours, the next one was for 15 hours. So that is also possible. So you can have more than one training courses as well. For example, you will first take the introduction part training, for example, introduction to PMP certification. So that was for, let's say, 10 hours only. And then the next training was for the advanced preparation part, or the advanced PMP certification preparation, any title. So you can have more than one courses as well, but the total of all of the courses, it has to be at least 35 hours. And mostly many of the companies offering PMP certification trainings, so they are offering courses for 35 hours. So you just have to take only one course, and that will fulfill the 35-hour requirement. So these are the two conditions, two prerequisites you must have to achieve in order to be eligible for the PMP exam. Now, in order to pass the PMP exam, there are two things that you will have to focus on. The first thing is the project management knowledge. So for sure, in order to pass any exam, any certification, you need to have the knowledge in that area, in that field. So for PMP, you need to have the knowledge in the project management field. So that knowledge you can get from your job experience. Maybe you can read different books, different journals, and you must have to take the training for sure. So the training is one of the key resource for attaining the project management knowledge. So that is must, and definitely in any exam it is one of the must criteria that you need to have the knowledge about that field. Another important area which is equally important, like the knowledge, is to understand the exam, which means you need to understand that which type of questions will be on the exam, how to practice the questions, how to analyze those questions. So practicing the questions is equally important like the knowledge of project management. And based on my recommendation, any applicant for the PMP exam, he or she must practice at least 1000 questions before going to the real exam. And in the practice exams, the candidate must have to get at least 80-85% passing rate. Only then you can get a green signal that now you can move on to the real exam. So these are the two things which are equally important: the project management knowledge, understanding of the project management, plus practicing many questions. Only then you will feel comfortable for the actual exam. Now, during your study for the PMP exam preparation, what right approach you will have to follow? Now, for example, based on your job experience, you have some understanding about the project management, about the techniques of the project management. So that is the area which you already know. For example, you know about budgeting, you know about scheduling, you have good understanding about the risks and so on. So that is the area which you already know. But you also need to find out the area or the things which you don't know. Okay, so basically you will have to identify your gaps and fill them up. Okay, and only then it will lead you to the success for the PMP exam. So again, you need to identify the things which you already know, plus you also need to identify the things which you don't know, and you need to write down or underline those points, the things which are very weak in terms of understanding, which you had any misconception about. So you need to just write down, you need to identify those points, so that when you are doing the revision after the training, you will be focusing on your weak points. And that is also one of the benefit of taking the proper training or the proper course, is to identify your missing gaps, is to identify your weaknesses during the training. And then you will discuss those weaknesses, those gaps with your trainer, and your trainer will help you or will define you the study plan that you will have to follow. So that is what you have to focus during the training courses in order to lead to success. Like I mentioned previously, that the PMP exam is not the test of your memory. Okay? So there are certain things that you will have to memorize, like formulas and some of the inputs and outputs, but those are very few in percentage, the things that you will have to memorize. So basically the PMP exam is all about understanding of concepts. The better understanding you have about those concepts, there is a very high chance that you will pass the PMP exam in the first attempt. And that is what we are focusing, or that is what I always focus as a trainer, to make sure that my students always understand the concept, not just memorize them. So during my courses, you will see that I'm using different techniques, I'm using different questions during the slides. I'm using different scenarios, different case studies that ensures that my students are always understanding the concept as per the PMI standards, and that is the key for success. Okay, so how the PMP exam looks like. Now for the PMP exam, there will be total 200 questions and you will be given 4 hours to attempt those 200 questions. Okay, and all of the 200 questions will be MCQs, will be multiple choice questions. Every question will have 4 options, A, B, C, D, and you need to read the question and just choose one answer, one option as the right answer. So all MCQs. There is nothing you need to type, there is nothing you need to write, so you just need to choose the right answer out of the 4 options. So again, you have 200 questions and you have 4 hours to attempt those 200 questions. Okay, and out of those 200 questions, there will be 25 pre-test questions, or you can say that there will be 25 non-live questions. So those 25 questions will not be counted for your passing rate or for any other marking. So those questions will not be counted for anything. So basically you have 175 actual or live questions. Okay, and the percentage that you will have to achieve to pass the exam is approximately 61%. So you have to get 61% out of 175 questions. So approximately 102 questions should be correct out of 175. But because you will not know which one are those 25 non-live questions, because every question will be mixed up and you will not feel which are those 25 questions, they all are mixed up. So what I suggest is just target 200 questions, and out of 200 questions, 61% equals to 121 question. So out of 200 you need to get 121 questions right. So you have to get 121 questions correct in order to pass the PMP exam. So again, that is not something impossible, that is very much doable. And as I said, there are more than 500,000 PMP certified in the world. So if they can do it, you can do it as well. So that is not something impossible. So how are the questions written? Okay, now PMP exam is written from the perspective of large projects and real-time projects, real-world projects. Okay, so that is the basic thing you need to keep in mind, that there is always a big project behind every question. So that could be a big oil refinery project, that could be a data center project, or a big construction project, or any other service project. So that depends. So a big or a large project where you have a schedule of more than 1 year, where you have more than 100 people working on your project, where the budget is in millions of that project. So that is a kind of a large project you have to assume, and then the question will be much more easier to understand. So again, every question in the PMP exam is written from the perspective of large project. So that is always one of the thing you have to keep in mind. So again, you will have 200 questions, whereas many of the questions on the exam will be situational questions. So approximately 75% or 150 of those questions out of 200 will be situational questions, which means there will be a small scenario, small situation, like 3-4 lines of situation will be given. So you need to analyze that situation as a project manager, and then you need to identify that out of the 4 options given, which answer or which option is going to be the right answer. So that is how most of the questions will be on the PMP exam. All right, but the 4 options which will be for every question, sometimes you may feel that maybe this question has more than one right answer, maybe 2 options are correct, maybe 3, maybe all 4 are correct. That may happen if you have wrong understanding of the concepts, or if there are some gaps in your understanding of the project management concepts. So again, if you attempt some of the questions before taking the project management training, you may feel that okay, this question has all 4 options correct. But again, you will see the difference that after taking the proper project management or the exam preparation training, you can easily find out the best answer. And there are some other techniques. For example, whenever you have any question which is having 4 options, so first thing you will have to do is to eliminate the wrong options. So you can eliminate the 1 or 2 wrong options, and then you will have 2 options to figure out between that which is going to be the right answer. But again, the point is that if you have some misconceptions, so then it could be a trouble for you to find the right answer. For the whole PMP exam, there will be approximately 15 formulas which will be part of the exam. So most of the formulas are related to the cost control, and the formulas are very easy. They are not like algebra or some of the other statistical formulas. The formulas are very easy to memorize, and I would recommend you to memorize these formulas 5-6 days before your actual exam. So no need to memorize the formulas in advance like 1 month before. Again, you will forget the formulas, but you need to memorize the formulas, plus you also need to understand the purpose of the formula, what is the benefit of that formula, and some other details as well. Whereas the point is that to understand the formulas, you don't need to be a mathematician or an accountant. The formulas are very easy to memorize. And then here we have the percentage of questions from each phase of your project. So as we can see on the screen, that most of the questions will be from the executing phase of the project, and the project closing phase will have the very few questions, only 8%. So that is the approximate percentage of the questions from each phase. That is how the questions will be distributed on your exam. Whereas all of the questions will be mixed up. It is not that the first you will get the initiating questions, then the planning questions. No, the questions will all be mixed up. Maybe the first question you will get will be from the closing part or from the executing part, and so on. And you can also see on the right column the difficulty level. So the questions from the initiating, executing, and the monitoring and controlling phase will be much more difficult compared to the other 2 phases. So that is the approximate percentage of questions which you will get on your PMP exam.